Hi guys! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I will be transforming this polka blouse into a self-tie top with a smocked style on the center. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna measure 12 inches. So both sides. And now we're gonna connect those lines. So this will be our guide when cutting. So just cut, make sure that it is a straight line. So put those aside, and now on the extra fabric we're gonna be making the straps. So in here I'm gonna measure 3 inches. So next is I'm gonna be measuring 1.5 inch. Now do that on the other fabric or on the other side, because we're gonna be needing 4 straps. So here you have now 4 straps. So get the top, and now we're gonna hem the top. So you're just gonna fold it like this. Just make it a little smaller. So you're gonna have to stitch this up. So this is what it will look like. So it's a little smaller because we're gonna be making ruffles later. So put this aside, and now we're gonna be doing the straps. So in here you're just gonna have to fold it inside out, and we're gonna stitch in the middle. So don't forget to fold the end. So we're gonna fold the end first. Just like that, and now we're gonna stitch. So this is the way to hide the rough edges. And now we're gonna have to stitch in the middle. Don't forget to backstitch. So because it's a little bigger on the other side, I'm just gonna cut those. So do that on the other stripes too. So this is what it will look like once it's done. Now get a safety pin. Pin it at the top. So just the other side. And you're gonna have to put on the inside, and now you're gonna have to push. So just push it until it reaches the other end. So this is what it will look like. So this is the part where we folded the end, and this is the part where we didn't. So it's a little bit rougher. Now do that on the others. So this is what it will look like once it's done. Now set those aside because we're gonna be doing the top. So in here we're gonna measure the smock part. So measure 6 inches. So this will be the uppermost part of this smock. So that's 6 inches. can have to connect those. Make sure to have a visible line because that will be our guide when stitching. Now add another half an inch below the line. Connect those. So this is what it will look like. Now do that on the back part. So once it's done, this is what it will look like na guys. Now on the upper part, so I'm just gonna put a dot or a line on the second, third, and fourth inches. So this will be our guide when putting the straps later because I think it's a little bit harder if you're gonna be measuring with the ruffles now. So I'm just gonna be measuring it first just to make sure. So that's 2, 3, and 4 of both front and the back, so each side, because we're gonna be putting 4 straps. Let's do 2, 3, and 4. Now we're gonna stitch the smock part. So this is really my favorite part every time I'm gonna be stitching smock tops. So in here we're gonna be using a thread. It's called a garterized thread. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. So it's a thread we're gonna use when doing smock. You can also use garter, but garter thread is like the very most common thread that's used when making a smock top. So don't backstitch guys, you're just gonna have to pull it to have a longer thread because we're gonna be tying those ends just to make it sure that it stays together. So tie nyo lang siya guys. So both the ends guys. Now we're gonna do the second. So before stitching the second part, make sure to pull the garter thread longer so that it will not be hard when tying it at the end. So you're gonna have to stitch those. So this is what it will look like guys once it's done, the 4 lines. Now we're gonna do the upper part. So I'm just gonna be using the lines, the thread as my guide. I put the thread near the side of the sewing machine. I'm not sure what's that called. So if you're gonna measure it by measuring tape, I think it's half an inch. So and again, don't forget to tie the end. Now because I want it to look more details, I'll be adding one more line. So just like that. So this is what it will look like. Now we're gonna put the straps. So remember the lines. So you're gonna have to try the top first. And now you're gonna use the lines on where you're gonna put the straps, of where you're comfortable with. So I'll be using the second line because the third one is like, it's too closer not to my neck. So the second line is perfect. Just like that, so put it there. I'll be sewing it with the top thread on the hem part there. So this is what it will look like. So I didn't put the video on because it's a little bit longer. Now I noticed that there's a brand here. So I'll be taking this and putting it on the top just to make it look fancy. So I'll be putting it on this side, just like that. And this is what it will look like, guys. So now that's the end. So here is your self-tie cute smock top. So I hope you enjoy watching this tutorial, guys. So it's really easy. So I hope you learned something from it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and ring that notification bell if you want to be updated on my upcoming uploads. Bye!